Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another video for you guys today. And today we're going a little bit cool story Bob time, as I'm going to talk about a specific matchup in regards to the Abzan Midrange list. In case you don't know what list I'm talking about, it's yesterday's video. You can check it out. I uploaded a homebrew Abzan deck that I used to reach Mythic rank in MTG Arena this season with, and in particular, there we go. It's this deck list right here, Angels and Crabs, most original, awesome deck name ever. Kappa. So this is an Abzan Midrange list that I built myself on live on my stream actually, and like I said, I used to climb up all the way to Mythic, and I've been playing with in Mythic rank as well, and I've been having quite a bit of success with it. Like I went undefeated with this deck all the way towards Mythic, and then I've been having pretty good success with it in Mythic rank as well. I still misplay with it a little bit here and there because it's not an easy deck to pilot, but it's a very rewarding one at that, and it's also very unique in the current standard metagame, and through my experience can compete with anything in the top tier standard lineup as of right now, which is really cool because Abzan has been very underrepresented, and you know, we get to play this, a strong deck that makes you look edgy AF, and that is always a fantastic thing, right? If you have a little hipster wannabe living inside you like me. So this deck list, I did do a deck tech on it in yesterday's video. In case you want me to explain everything about it, you can check that video out. Today we're going to talk about a specific matchup, and that is the matchup against Esper Control, which is, in my opinion, a very fascinating matchup to analyze a little bit, I guess. Today's gameplay is going to be a best of 3 series that was very dragged out against Esper Control in Mythic rank, and I think, like I said, it's very interesting to tackle because competitively speaking, I learned a lot from that series, basically, and I think you can learn a lot from it too yourself, because generally speaking, when I designed this deck at first, or mid-range decks in general, when you think about Esper Control, the longer the match goes, the more dread you feel, as that sort of deck can be quite unstoppable at a certain point, especially if they have Search for Scanta and Teferi going on for them, right? Esper Control gains more and more power the longer the match goes. It is the slowest deck by far in the metagame, and it is the king of control at that. So when I'm playing a mid-range deck that lacks the initial or the early game pressure that other mid-range decks and or of course aggro decks have, if I can't kill Esper Control before they get their fun going, then it's looking quite grim for me. And I thought initially that it would be our toughest matchup with this deck, but it turns out I was wrong. It turns out this deck has tremendous grind potential. And what I mean by grind potential is that it can go long. It can get deep. It can get dirty. And it can come out on top against the likes of Esper Control, which is really cool. So the matchups that I've had against Esper Control have all been dragged out wars in which we were top decking at a certain point, trying to get our card advantage back going, and just you know, an all out, like I said, grindy battle basically. And that's not really a kind of game that I would expect to come out on top in. But with this particular deck, it turns out that you can outgrind Esper Control because of certain key tools that you have. Obviously, Karn Sign of Urza is extremely important, as you do need that card advantage that can generate you every turn, while also searching for specific key resources to deal with either their hand or their Teferi or even their enchantment in Search for Scanta. We have tools like Knight of Autumn and Mortify to deal with Search for Scanta. We have Rasa's Contempt to deal with Teferi. We have Eldritch Reborn, which is extremely powerful in the matchup, but of course you need to know when to time because it can get counterspelled, and if you hold on to it for too long, it could potentially be discarded from your hand via Thought Erasure. So timing with Eldritch Reborn can be one of the most complex and complicated decisions to make in a matchup, really. We have Raska, Relic Seeker, and Find as value machines in the late game, but that can also be counterspelled. So again, navigating through the opponent's counterspells is one of the most difficult things with this deck because we don't have counterspells of our own, but we do have Duress. We do have 2 main deck Duress, and we do have 2 more in the sideboard, right? We have 4 treasure maps, which is extremely important in the matchup because it is not vulnerable to Mortify, as it is an artifact, not an enchantment, though it can become a bit of a liability in games 2 and 3 if they sideboard in their Hostage Taker. So the way you win in a dragged out, grindy battle versus Esper Control is you need to establish Karn onto the board at a certain point. If you have sideboarded in, you need Argyll's Bloodfast, which is the most important card in the sideboard for the matchup. And once you have that going, you need to focus all of your resources and plays on making sure you're always ready to deny the Search for Scanta and deny the Teferi from sticking on the board. So you need to develop a board state that can threaten Teferi even after it goes for the -3. You need to have something else on the board that can do that. Thorn Lieutenant is fantastic because the Thorn Lieutenant is targeted by the -3. He leaves a 1/1 green elf warrior token behind, which can knock out the fairy in one hit afterwards, right? So that may seem like a very minor detail, but it can mean everything, because if the fairy gets to come in and clear a unit on the board and leave you without anything on the board, we're not red. We can't deal direct damage. We need board presence to kill off the fairy, even if it only has 1 loyalty point left. So having Thorn Lieutenant enable us, to do that is super important. Thorn Lieutenant is actually a good top deck in the late game as well, because you can represent, buffs with paying 6 mana. We can get +4/+4, which can enable us to hit our opponent for a lot of damage if we build up a lot of mana. And like I said, a very dragged out game. We have Growth Chamber Guardian, which enables us to apply pressure without having to overcommit to the board, and keep our hand healthy and keep our threats ready to keep going, even if our opponent goes for board wipes. A very, very powerful card in the matchup, as it represents a lot of damage on its own. It's not the fastest, but speed is not the most important thing against Esper control. It's more about, not overcommitting, right? And then we have Seraph the Scales, which can apply a lot of pressure herself as well, because he tends to be a 2-for-1 unless they have Ross's Contempt. So a really solid unit to apply pressure with. Good enough attack, flying as well, and can be a good win condition at a certain point in the match, right? And that is basically how you take them down. You have to kind of like outgrind them, deny the Planeswalker and the enchantment, and slow and steady, just kind of like take them down little by little, and just outvaluing them. And it is possible to outvalue Esper control with this build, which is the thing that really, I don't know, it fascinated me the most, honestly, because I did not expect this deck capable of that, right? But of course, Argyle's Bloodfast, when it comes in games 2 and potentially game 3, is absolutely devastating for Esper control if they do not have Mortify for it. So obviously you want to hold on to Argyle's. You don't want to play this immediately. You want to hold on to this until you either bait out the Mortify early on or you discard it with the rest. Because if you avoid Mortify and you can keep this enchantment on the board, you can just don't run out of steam, because Esper doesn't threaten you with damage. So you can just use your life as a resource to draw as many cards as you need, so you can start discarding their stuff with the rest. Eliminating Teferi, denying the Ascanta, and, I repeat that a lot, like, Teferi and Ascanta, but those are the two things you need to deal with. If you deal with those two, you shut Esper control down, because they ain't got any more win conditions. They win by outvaluing you. If you beat that, then you're in a good position in that sense. And yeah, that's basically going to be it for my ramble in regards to the matchup. I think I'm going to let the actual gameplay speak for itself. I think it's a very fascinating matchup that you can definitely learn from. But obviously it's quite dragged out, so it may not be for everybody. But I don't know. I found it very interesting myself, and I felt like sharing. And let me know if you want me to make more videos like this, like talking about specific matchups, with competitive decks and stuff, and I don't know, rambling for a little bit, I guess, if I'm coherent at all. I don't know. I do try my best. But yeah, that's 8 minutes, so that is quite a lot. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy the game. Hopefully you find it interesting. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I fucking love you. Thank you for watching my videos and supporting my channel. It really means a lot to me. Stay tuned for daily MTG videos. I hope you're hope you're hyped for War of the Spark, and for me to get eventually decent at the English language. And I'll see you guys around. That frustrates me. God fucking damn it. So I'm not gonna tap my treasure map, because Obviously, as you can see there, I need it for the... Okay, I'll definitely keep that. I'm gonna keep this Assassin's Trophy because I may need it for a Teferi.
I can no longer stand by and watch. This is hardly my worst defeat. We need to move quickly.
So I am going to try to play Shalai. He could very easily have removal for it. Like, he could have Akaya's Wrath to just wipe out my board. He drops a negate, which is certainly interesting. Unfortunately, my hand is filled with blanks as of right now. Even though I do have Eldest Reborn, at this stage, I haven't dealt enough damage, and I just... Like, it's hard to believe my Eldest Reborn won't get countered once he plays another Teferi. Unless I can find the, my second Duress.
to guide my people. Take what's mine.
All right.
Back to the ship.
Our actions determine fortunes. I'll make use of that later.
All right, so another damn Chemist's Insight. I mean, we do have an answers for another Teferi. While still having the Ross's Contempt enabled. This enables us to thin our deck. That's annoying, because he's going to take our Eldest Reborn that way, but oh well. I mean, there's no doubt about this. You always take the Eldest Reborn. I mean, you do have a Mortify for it, I guess. But you always take it. Hope he's answering all of our... Okay.
Reveal who we are.
I'm gonna be honest, this Abzan list doesn't seem to have a lot of answers to many things in the current metagame. Like what? What answers is it lacking? Like, are you just basing this on 2 games that you saw, in which I drew poorly? I've won every single game against Mono Red Aggro except the one that we've had today.
Trust me, you'll thank me later. We will meet again. You know
Hopefully
what?
not soon,
I'm not
Teferi.
done yet.
Okay, there we go.
This will aid us.
This list probably does okay against Girl Midrange, that's about it. I don't think you have much of an idea what you're talking about, man. To be completely honest with you. I think you're talking out of your ass a little bit. But that's fine. We can all talk out of our booties. It's a free country or world. Streaming is an international thing. Alright, there it is. Obviously I'm trying to like milk him out. I am gaining card advantage out of most of these exchanges. I will keep that. That's another threat that he has to answer. That also leaves something behind. The question is, do I need this Thorn Lieutenant right now? I'm gonna go for Karn instead.
A hideous choice.
Okay, that find is huge. That's definitely gonna be my next target. Alright. Let's play this. We have enough mana. We don't need to take any extra damage, so we're gonna drop that there. Alright. Yeah, that's annoying. That's not what I want to see, because that takes away an answer for Teferi, and I was feeling very comfortable with that. So if he plays at Teferi now, it's gonna be tough. Like, I need to always be able to answer Teferi.
What was lost is now returned.
We want you. And I mean, we have the answer for enchantments. I guess Shalai. Shalai makes the most sense. Both of these are legendary too. He could have a counter spell here. Okay. I don't want to play too much. How many Kaya's Wrath has he played? He's played 2. He could have a third. He could easily have a third. So I don't want to overcommit to this board. So I think I'm going to just drop Tristani, because Tristani is lethal, right? Next turn, because then I have 6, 8, 10 after a hit from that. Let's tap out accordingly, though. Next turn, Shalai plus a boost is also lethal, so I don't need to play more into the third Kaya's Wrath. Okay. Thorn Lieutenant is fine here, I think. Like, what else am I searching for at this point? Thorn Lieutenant gives me a good presence.
Massive action is needed.
Again, I set up lethal for next turn, but also don't overcommit to Kaya's Wrath.
If you show remorse, hold that thought.
Okay. Just really hope I don't see Kaya's Wrath here. That does get him out of lethal range.
Notice I didn't say fair.
Can't target any of my...
Welcome here anymore.
That puts him out of lethal range, like I said. So we're better off just dealing with this board rather than dealing damage.
Are you certain of your decision?
Actually, I do have lethal technically, don't I? Wait. 6, 9. No, I miss out. And I don't have the mana to go, like, because I need 10 mana for, I would need 16 mana. And I have 6, 8, 11, 12, 15. I actually have enough. Okay, I have 6, 9, 10, 12, which means I can do this and this, right? Yep, we got him. We actually got him. Okay, just making sure that I didn't, like, auto tap didn't fuck me up or something. Oh my god. Oh, Thor Lieutenant. Oh, you fucking beast. All right. Oh, okay, that took forever. All right, let's add in you. Let's add in the Crawl Harpooners, Kaya. Okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I could also buff him twice, but I'd rather play Shalai first, because that way I ensure that he can't target it afterwards. Okay, let's see. What don't we need? We definitely need you. Lyra seems a little bit unnecessary, even though in a dragged out game it can come into play. But here I need shit that impacts immediately. I can take out the cast downs because I do have Mortifies anyway. I need the treasure maps. I need the Assassin's Trophy as well. Define Finality too. Shalai is pretty good there. It can seem a little bit awkward though. Yeah, I'm gonna take her out. Let's go with this. I want the Crawl Harpooners because my opponent could very easily bring Thief of Sanity. And I want to be able to counter that. Alright, double duress, baby. Let's get rid of that. If I play Growth Chamber Guardian, it's just going to trade with a cast down. So I'd rather play this first. Oh, shit. God damn it. Did I misclick there? Well, at least I got a bait now. Right, so that's 2 Teferis dealt with. I'm not gonna play the Growth Chamber Guardian just yet. Okay, there we go. I want to see that Mortify out of him. That's huge. I'm gonna go ahead and play Craw Harpooner now, because I have a Mortify anyways at this point. So I may as well get some board presence here. Alright, so he had another Mortify.
Let us begin. Well chosen.
If I play Thorn Lieutenant now, I force him to play Kaya's Wrath. Like, this stops him. What this does is it stops him from playing Teferi next turn. Like, if he draws into Teferi,
I am proud.
if he wants to play Kaya's Wrath, then he's not gonna be able to do that and play Teferi at the same time. And if he plays Teferi, he can't, like, I threaten Teferi with my board state right now. If he had a counter spell, he could board wipe and do that. I'm gonna play this.
I will fight with honor. The time has come.
Oh, it's because he has Chemist's Insight. Again, he can't Kaya's Wrath. Oh, that fucking sucks.
An excellent choice.
We're pressuring. We're pressuring. I want to thin my deck out of the last Growth Chamber Guardian and then go... Well, I'm going to go for Karn here anyways. I mean, I kind of want to go for the lethal now, right? I mean, we know he has more Kaya's Wrath, but he has to have him in hand. So we may as well go for the kill now. He could have a Kaya's Wrath, yeah, but... Like I said... We gotta try to put an end to this. If he has it, he has it. If not, we got him. Please don't tell me you have that into Fairy. Okay, we have the answer for that.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous army.
All right, here we go. 2-0, baby. 2-0 Esper control. Fuck yeah. But this deck has no answers for the current metagame. Am I right? Oh, God. That was a good one.